All right, so I was watching, I think it was CNN. This was a little bit ago, but they had a piece on Trump and the Tim Walz guy, and how Walz, the whole issue over him saying he was in the military and had actually been in combat, and how that was kind of an embellishment. And it's either true or it's not true. If you're saying that you were like in the military, obviously he was in the military for like 20 something years, but I don't know why he would say he was like in a combat zone or was, holding a weapon and was in, dangerous territory in another country if he wasn't, right? It's just, that's either true or it's not true. Then I think it was Jake Tapper, but he was basically saying like, well, Donald Trump, when he was 20 years old or whatever, basically tried to get out of going to Vietnam, or I think it was Vietnam. And I'm like, how is that even the same thing? Donald Trump never said he was in the military. He never said he served like in a combat zone. And they're trying to compare what Walz said to what Trump did. Trump said he had some medical issue or whatever and he wanted to avoid the draft, I think. So millions of people, I'm sure, did that. They didn't want to serve. They didn't want to go to the military. But the difference is that Trump never said he was in the military, right? This guy obviously was in the military for an extended period of time and, basically lied about being in a combat zone and doing that. So no one's debating the fact that if he was in the military or not, but I don't know why they're trying to throw Trump in there and say, oh, basically what Trump did is bad as well. But Trump's not claiming he was ever in the military. He's not claiming he was, in a combat zone or was in active combat, right? He's never been in the military. So that's what they try to do. They try to, make the other person look bad, even though, it's one thing to try to avoid going to the military, which millions of people do, by the way, especially back when there was a draft. This guy sounded like voluntarily went into the military for 20 years. And that's great. You're in the military, you're doing your service, you're getting benefits that come along with that. And certainly the country is grateful to have people that are in the military. But if you're going to lie about what you did in the military, that's kind of bad, right? It's kind of like another level higher than just avoiding, going to the military. And I don't think Trump did anything bad because, again, he's never claiming if Trump was saying he was in the military, obviously we know he wasn't. So that would be bad. But this guy was in the military and then was being a little bit dishonest, or actually fully dishonest about what he did in the military, what he did or didn't do in the military. That's deceptive because anyone who was in the military, who actually did serve, I mean, you see these people on TV that got blown up by an IED, or they lost their limbs, or their life's not the same now, and they're in a wheelchair for the rest of their life, or they're literally dead and their family lost them in a war. It's very disrespectful to those people and to those families to say, hey, I served and I was in an active combat area when I actually wasn't. So I don't know what was going through his head when he said that, because it's pretty easily verifiable if you were there or not, right? To know if you were in a combat zone or not. So, but that's what they try to do. I mean, Jake Tapper and all the CNN guys, it's pretty sad. They try to throw Trump in there and make it seem like what Trump said back during Vietnam was somehow just as bad as what Walz did. And that was the thing. It's like, hey, no one's saying that. Trump's not saying he was ever in the military. He's not saying he ever served in the military. And this guy's lying about what he did in the military, which I think is obviously very bad. So let me know what you guys think on that. Subscribe. See you in the next one.